Hey curl friends! I've come to realize that there is one major missing link to my video collection here on YouTube. I've done so many tutorials for curly hair, but I feel it's my duty and it's essential to add my natural hair journey because my hair didn't always look like this. I've been a little hesitant to do this video because I didn't really want to expose my past and date myself, but I want to give you a look into how I got to this stage of healthy curls. So if you want to see a slideshow of my amazing yet embarrassing hair journey, grab your popcorn and stay tuned. So let's take a trip down memory lane to when I was a little itty bitty baby rocking my sweet afro, not a care in the world. My mom, who was obviously in charge of my hair, kept me natural. It wasn't until around the 3rd grade I wanted to say in how my hair looked, so I took over. But the only style I really knew how to do was slick it back into a ponytail. When I wore it down, it was too frizzy, too big, and unmanageable, and I really didn't like it. And that's when I experimented with Carefree Curls Snapback Curl Activator. Do any of you remember that? I'm not even sure if it's still out there, but for a while it was my holy grail product for curl definition. As I got older, all I wanted was longer, straight hair, and I knew the only way to get that was with the hot comb because back then we didn't have flat irons, we had hot combs. Once I saw what my hair looked like straight, I became obsessed with not wearing my hair natural. Plus, I was living in a time when wearing your curly hair wasn't really on trend, and as the trends changed, so did my hair. I entered high school with braids that were heavily influenced by Janet Jackson and Poetic Justice, and I rocked the braids on and off throughout high school. I also started experimenting with relaxers and a little product called Sun-In. I wasn't allowed to color my hair, so this was my sneaky, rebellious way of lightening my hair in high school. My Sun-In experience eventually turned into bleach, and then a combination of bleach and relaxer, and this is when my hair really started going downhill. The texture and curl pattern completely changed, and my hair started to break off. So instead of doing a big chop, I decided to mask the breakage with dun dun dun, a big old blonde curly weave. What in the world? This will forever go down in history as my worst hairstyle. It was like wearing 10 pounds of synthetic doll hair. It was so heavy and it matted, and yeah, not a good look, especially in blonde. Ugh. Thankfully, that look didn't last long, and I moved on to 3 bundles of Malaysian curly human hair that weighed about 8 pounds less. Now, I wore a sew-in hair weave for the next 8 years with hopes that my relaxer and bleach disaster would grow out and I could eventually revert back to a head of healthy curls. From time to time, I would take out my extensions to give my hair a break, but I felt so naked, and my hair wasn't long enough, so I would revert right back to my hair weave. I then added a straight weave and stuck with that for a really long time. I was at a point where I thought my hair finally looked good, and it was such a stupid and insecure train of thought because the real me was hiding under this weave. I started noticing women around me and in magazines wearing their hair natural, and they looked so good. I knew that's what I looked like underneath all of that. So during my next weave appointment, I did a length check and I realized that the end is finally near. I told myself this will be the last time I do this. Plus, I noticed that my hairline and edges were thinning badly from the weight of my weave. So I rocked it for one last time and finally took them out for good. It was such a freeing experience. It was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. No, seriously, that weave was so heavy. And my curls were back. The pattern was a little wacky because the hair that was exposed while I wore my weave was constantly being straightened. I had no immediate plans to cut my hair because I just spent 8 years growing it out. So what do? I continued damaging it by adding highlights. That made my hair so dry, but I finally got smart and started to get trims. And this is when I really started to see my natural hair get healthy. I still played around with color, but I noticed as my damaged ends were trimmed, my curl pattern improved. My curls had bounce, they were springy, and it was growing longer, something I'd really never experienced in my youth. I loved the length, but it was at this time that I started to notice how fine my curls were. I decided I wanted volume and length, so I went to see my current hairdresser, Shai, and had him keep most of the length with some longer layers. I really loved his technique, which was so different than any other haircut I've ever had in my lifetime. So I put all my faith in him and told him that I needed a new look. He helped me achieve my current hairstyle by taking off a few inches with lots of shorter layers at the crown. I now have my glorious curly fro. It is by far my favorite haircut and has helped me fall in love with my naturally curly hair again. It's so versatile and I receive compliments on it all the time. I can finally say that I feel like my authentic self again.
Yeah. What a blast from the past. I've done a get to know me video before, but I think pictures say so much more. I'm so happy I got to share these experiences with you all, and I'd love to hear more about your natural hair journey down below in the comments. If you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe so we can continue this journey together. I post videos at least once a week on fine curly hair and other aspects of beauty. If you're not already following me on Instagram and Twitter, it is at DiscoCurls. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.